what's up guys? Dave here for your third lesson on de-stupefying your weak hand. Now hopefully by now you're seeing a bit of an improvement, you're being challenged, and you're getting a better relationship with your stupid hand. That's the goal of this series. This lesson we're going to take it one step further and go into 16th notes. Now you're going to find 16th notes a very common subdivision to add in ghost notes in the grooves that you usually play, especially in modern rock. So get very familiar with your 16th note ghost exercises that we're going to talk about on this lesson, because this is going to give you the tools you need in order to add some really cool grooves and really cool ghost notes into the beats that you already play. So we're going to do the exact same thing we've done for the other lessons, just with 16th notes. So take your right hand and play 8 notes on the hi-hat. With your left hand, play 16th notes on the snare. Again, don't worry about the dynamics at this point. And remember, you're playing 16th notes, so that's quite fast. Give it a nice slow tempo so you don't get too ahead of yourselves. I'm going to do them at 80, but you might want to start these ones at about 60 or maybe 70. Here we go. All right, repeat that over and over again until you're very comfortable with those two subdivisions. Then for step 2, add in the dynamics. Here we go. And finally, add in the bass drum to make this a groove. Check this one out. All right, now before we move on, I want to give you guys just a little bit of a challenge. Take the last exercise that I just did and practice it for at least 10 minutes a day. Now, if you find that too challenging, go back and maybe try the 8th note exercise or the 8th note triplet exercise. Either way, find one of these that's a decent enough challenge for you and go through it for at least 10 minutes a day. Now, for your intermediate and advanced drummers, I always like to challenge you. So, with the 16th note concept, instead of adding in some new bass drum patterns, what we're going to do this time is we're going to change up the hi-hat pattern by doing 16th notes instead of 8 notes. So for challenge number 1, instead of doing 8 notes on the hi-hat and 16th notes on the snare, we're going to do 16th notes on the hi-hat and 16th notes on the snare. This one's a cool one. This is how it sounds. And last, for challenge number 2, we're going to add in an 8th note pulse to your hi-hats. So what I like to do for this is just shank tip, push pull, whatever works. Get an accent going on the 8th notes while playing 16th notes. Make sure you don't follow along with your snare though. Keep your snare only accenting on the backbeat. Sounds confusing, but this is how it sounds. So the one quick thing I'll say about that last exercise is make sure your left hand does not follow the accents with your right hand. So what I like to do sometimes is just take my bass drum foot out of there so I can see if I'm doing it wrong. Something like this. So you get the idea. Have fun with that one, practice these a ton, and I'll see you guys on the next video.